I think autumn has come at exactly the right time that I needed it to. I'm going through all of this change within myself, and it's not necessarily obvious on the outside, but when the seasons change, I feel like it's this little acknowledgement that time is passing and time will keep moving forward and everything is gonna work out. I did do one particularly exciting thing recently. I'm not yet ready to share, but I will eventually when the time is right. It was a pretty big decision, so I'm a little bit nervous about it, but I'm mostly just utterly excited. Like, it feels so right. For now though, here are some cute moments from when summer turned into autumn. I hope you're doing well and that you feel pride in however you need to handle the change that might be coming into your life right now. Good morning. In the breakup era, you know what? All year round, I'm very into witchy things, especially if they come highly recommended from a friend, like if they've seen someone and they think that it was an incredible experience. So my friends recommended a particular tarot reader, so I'm off to see her this morning and I'm very excited. Okay, that reading was incredible. I will absolutely be seeing her again. I feel so good. I feel like I got a lot of guidance, a lot of actions as well. She had a beautiful energy. It was wonderful speaking with her. And I love a tarot reading. I think they are so incredible. I feel like I'm doing a lot of work to make sure that my values are in line with my actions and all the decisions I'm making. And the cards that we pulled and what they represented, and then also the additional information or context she gave to those cards just really echo that point. So I feel very aligned with everything I'm doing and the decisions I'm making and where I'm headed, and it was just so nice to have that reassurance, but also a lot of encouragement to do some shadow work and things like that, which you guys know when I talked about the All About Love book I mentioned as well. So I feel like I have a few actions off the back of that, but yeah, like I said, I like a few witchy things, so I'm really glad I did that. Of course, I now have to journal all of my thoughts out from that session. Now I'm off to get lunch with my friend. She is having her tarot reading now. We both went because our friend recommended this reader to us. I'll pop her in the description if you two like a bit of a witchy moment. And so she is having her reading and then we're gonna go get lunch together. I am having the most beautiful day. Maybe it's something to do with the reading. I don't know. But I'm feeling very grateful and nostalgic, even though it's currently the present moment. Nostalgic for autumn. Like, I am loving seeing all of the trees turn orange, or more specifically the leaves, and then seeing them fall off and flutter down to the ground. And it's just so beautiful. Like, I feel like I love spring. I think spring's one of my favorite seasons, but I'm feeling very, very grateful for autumn at the moment. It's so nice with the sun and all of the orange leaves, and it being a beautiful weekend. Everyone's out and about, so the fields are really popping off as well. I just had lunch with my beautiful friend. She had a reading just after myself, so we spoke about our insights and our learnings, and it was very helpful to talk about it out loud with each other. It's so interesting because like we have a lot of similarities. I've known her since I was like 5 years old but we have very different ends of the spectrum when it comes to like what we want to or need to work on next as to what came out of the tarot readings. So it was really cool to like talk about that and yeah, just contrast our experiences. And then we had pockets, which is super tasty. It's like the colors of the rainbow inside a fluffy bun of bread. After the reading, I was killing some time at Broadway Market and I came across a really lovely gentleman and his bookstore. We were talking about the Fitzcarraldo editions, which are these books that come in blue. They're a publishing group that publish books that might have been otherwise not translated to English. So you get to see a lot of novels you might otherwise not get to read. And I found the conversation I had with him was really beautiful. He had been to a book signing for one of my favorite books ever, which I've mentioned plenty of times on this channel, which is Stillborn, which is published by this group. And we talked about that, and then he was telling me about the most recent book he's read is an Olga Tokarczuk. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong, but this author, a Polish author, and he just finished one of her books and he really liked it. But he said, if I'm going to begin anywhere, then I should begin with Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead. And then at the exact same time, because I'm a huge believer in signs, these two people were standing next to me and they walked up to the book. One of the people says to her friend, oh, I read this book and I loved it. And I was like, that's the sign that I need to read it next, even though I do not need any more books. I have so many next to my bed. I have too many. I actually am trying to like power through them. But I had to get it because I had such a lovely conversation with him, and then this other person mentioned it as well. So I'll read this and I'll let you know how it goes. We also talked about Pond as another book worth reading from these publishers, so I might do that one eventually as well. Now I am going to head for a swim at London Fields Lido, which I thought was pretty funny that when I was at She's Lost Control, they had the little Calm London book, and one of the places was London Fields Lido and the other was where I got my tarot reading, so it feels very full circle. I'm also a huge water baby, so I think it's going to be very refreshing and rejuvenating to spend a solid hour in water and soak it up. So that's where I'm headed off to now. So over the last few videos, you've seen me working on some rings here. I've been practicing with little stones, like gems. I'm using all synthetic ones as I practice, none that are super precious, and of course all ethical as they can be. I go to a particular company that is like really well respected and has really good practices. So I trust a lot of the products that they have on offer. So yeah, I've been playing with the little gemstones and carving / melting the wax around them. And it has been quite a difficult process for me to figure out my technique. I haven't really watched much content because I kind of wanted to figure it out for myself just by feel and touch. And so yeah, these are all the rings that have failed as a result. So I just keep them as kind of memories as well. Like this one, I just completely lost it. And that's okay because I have got a few that I'm taking in to get cast today. And I had someone in the comments ask where I get them cast and just the general process. So I really appreciated that comment and I hope this is helpful. I certainly like showing it because I think it's really cool that you can have this thing that you made with your own two hands in wax, and then all of a sudden it's a whole silver hard ring. Actually, I'll just get mine for this. So when I got my last set of rings cast, I think I cast about 10, and of those I have 4 that I love, with like maybe a top 5. So I cast them all because I wanted to feel, I don't know, I feel like a lot of them looked quite a bit different to what I thought they would look like. You can only get so much of a sense of what the ring is going to be like whilst it is in wax, and it is quite different in my opinion when it is cast, in the sense that like the weight of it and the structure of it and the little details you possibly couldn't see in the wax come through a lot more in the silver and or gold, if I could be bothered paying for that. I'm really happy with the first batch I sent, but like I said, I got about 10 made, and there's probably 4 to 5 that I keep wearing often, and the others they just like weren't calling to me. They weren't a design that I necessarily wanted to stick with. So with that in mind, what I did this round is I continued to develop the rings that I liked wearing the most and just tweaking those designs a bit more. So I've made 2 of those. One is just a super simple ring, but it's the one that when I show my rings to my friends and colleagues, it's like comes up as one of their favorites. So it's a somewhat basic silver ring, but the texture and the width, the weight and the finishings to it, it just feels really like organic and looks really nice amongst all the other rings. Like in particular, my friend who has a lot of silver rings, she felt it would just be like the perfect complement to those. So I made an additional one of those in wax to get cast today, just to kind of compare how it goes if I'm going to make more of these and sell them. Like, is it something that I can realistically recreate time and time again? So I'm keen to see how that goes. And then the other one I tested was the wavy ring. So this is the wavy ring, and I really like how it feels. I love putting it into little grooves of my fingers and twisting it around my finger as well. I love the feeling of it, and I wanted to make a larger version to see what that would look like, because obviously if I choose to sell these, lots of people have lots of different sized fingers, and this one actually fits really perfectly on my thumb. So if I decide to keep it, I'll probably wear it on my thumb. And then the other 4 are all experiments with the gemstones. So these were all very difficult to get my style and figure out what I liked. The style that I like so far, which obviously once it comes out in silver I'll reassess, is something really thin and organic with a tiny little stone in the top. So I've done 2 versions of those. And then the other style I really like is a bit of a spotlight moment for the stone. So it looks like it's melting into the wax. I'm also going to be casting all of these stones in place, which means that the stone is going through like the ultra hot process of being cast. And that is possible because the type of stones I selected were so that I could cast them in place. And I personally just looked around at rings I really like, and the ones that are cast in place I personally prefer. I feel like they look so nice, and I don't know, just like one with the silver instead of having those edges that look like a machine could have made it. I've tried 2 of these styles, one with a really small stone and one with a bigger stone, and they are both inspired by this design that I always wear on my middle finger that I love the most. So I'm off to take these rings to the caster, and then I'll pick them up in about a week's time, and then I will have to sand it back, polish it. I've got all the tools for that, so I'll show that process as well. That's another part of the process that preferably maybe I would like to outsource. It's a little bit tricky and finicky and involves a lot of dust, but for now I think it's good to learn how to do it. So let's go off to the caster. Speaking of which, I use a caster in Hatton Garden. So Hatton Garden in London is like the jewelry street. When you go there, it's quite funny how many signs there are for, we buy gold, we sell gold, we buy diamonds. There's just so much stuff in that street for jewelry making in particular, and there's quite a few casters there. So honestly, I'm trying a new one this time just to kind of see how all the different places compare and the quality as well. And I guess I'll probably, continue to shop around before I decide on a caster I might want to stick with long term. But the place where I get the stones from, that place I am really happy with, and they come quite highly recommended, so I'll probably continue with them. And whilst I'm out there getting these cast, I will pick up some new stones to make some more designs and continue practicing and playing around with this. I just dropped off the wax rings at West One Casting, which I thought I would try because my friend recommended it, and they were really nice. We had a little chit chat and we talked about making molds, and then two of my pieces I couldn't actually get cast because I didn't make a hole big enough behind the gemstone, so otherwise they would just like completely sink into the ring and it wouldn't work. So that was nice of them to let me know, and I'll have to fix that for the next time. Now I'm gonna go get some more gemstones to keep practicing. All right, I got my little stones. I go to AE Ward and Sons, and every time I go they are so lovely, really patient, and they explain everything really well because I truly don't know what I'm talking about. I literally said to him today, is it called a stone? And he was like, yeah. So they're super nice and I highly recommend. And while I'm on this side of town, I have a little bakery saved that I've wanted to check out. It's called Tiny Mammoth, so I'm going to go and pick up a little sweet treat. I am doing something very fun today. A friend told me about a sauna and cold plunge that is on a canal boat, and I don't know, just living in London, seeing the canal boats, they're so joyful. I love like walking past them and checking them out. So I think it's really cool that someone like stripped a canal boat and now turned it into one of my favorite things ever, a sauna and a cold plunge. I'm here right now to do it, and I want to show you around. It started out in Dublin, and then we were just talking to the people who own it, and pretty much they wanted to move to London, so they found a boat and did the same thing here, and now we get to enjoy it. Amazing. A sauna on a canal boat, I can definitely get around. It was also really nicely fit out. It had some music, it had some essential oils. It was very peaceful, very calming, had a great time. So I have been to Broadway Market and Victoria Park Market hundreds of times, Columbia Road Flower Market as well, but I've never been up to Chatsworth Road to see their markets on a Sunday. So that is where I'm going to head right now to check it out. Also, I don't know if it's like moving through to a new season post breakup feels like a bit of an achievement or something, but fall or autumn, I should say, has such a stronghold over me this year. I am obsessed with it. Like, look at this tree. Like, she's just shedding her leaves, starting fresh. That's probably got to do with it, the metaphor. Oh, and look at her, isn't she beautiful? Changing colors like that. Markets were cute, but definitely just a smaller / more family friendly Broadway market. It's definitely a lot less hectic as well, but none of the food caught my attention, so instead I'm gonna head over to a Japanese restaurant I have saved. It just looks like a really nice space to sit in, so let's go have some Japanese for lunch. Another beauty with all her little orange tints coming through. I think upon reflection, autumn is definitely hitting different this year. Ooh, angry. Because yeah, the shedding of a season, the changing of seasons, it's really resonating. I'm feeling it. I feel like the seasons are reflecting my growth, my journey, because everything's about me. It's actually just fucking Mother Nature. So it's a few days, maybe even like more than a week later, and I'm now going to go and pick up my ring castings. They are all turned into magical silver now. Just picked up all of the rings that I got cast. West One casting. I need to go home and polish them and fix them up a little bit, but very exciting. Look at all my little beauties. Got some stone there. This one as well, need to polish back. Hello and welcome back to my cooking show. Tonight it is Halloween themed. I'm having some friends over for Halloween and we'll just have a cozy little dinner and see the trick-or-treaters and hand out some candy, and I think we want to watch Practical Magic. First job is, well, more important than the actual nourishing food, is to get the candy ready for the trick-or-treaters. So obviously a lot of plastic going on here, a lot of bloody sugar. Don't condone this, but in the spirit of the festival and the season, we're doing it anyway. Okay, Mars. This is my personal favorite, so I'm gonna have this snack. Okay, so now the children are fed and we can work on the meal for the adults. Wait, so this is this is scary. I don't know if this is right, but the recipe says I'm meant to be burning these on an open gas. I'm rolling with it. That one all golden.